Peace. Today's mathematics is knowledge, build, or destroy, which are the numbers 1 and 8 or 18. And I wanted to build on our 18th lesson in one of our sets of lessons that we learned. And the question that we're asked in this 18th lesson is, what is the duty of a civilized person? And the answer is, the duty of a civilized person is to teach he and she who is savage civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. First and foremost, I think it's important to understand what teaching actually is. Teaching is not sitting around doing a whole bunch of talking. I think some of us are under the impression that we're teaching because we're sitting around just talking to each other. But teaching requires activity. Teaching may require lesson plans, curriculum. It may be experiential, where you are immersing yourself in an experience in order to get a greater understanding of what it is that you're being taught. It's in real time. So teaching is an activity. It's not sitting around doing a bunch of talking. When we talk about the duty of a civilized person, in order to do that duty or have that responsibility, we have to demonstrate civilization. Now, the lesson prior to the 18th degree or the 17th degree says the meaning of civilization is one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. But it doesn't really tell you what activities are required to demonstrate having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and not being a savage in the pursuit of happiness. It's kind of ambiguous. So I wanted to also discuss activities that are important in terms of demonstrating civilization. Civilization is not marked by how advanced the technology is. I know some of us may be under that impression that you are civilized or you are advanced in civilization because you have access to technology. No, civilization is always marked by the high level of advancement when it comes to our psychology, our sociology, our politics, and our culture. In other words, when you look at societies of people, how you can measure their level of civilization when it comes to an advanced psychological perspective or an advanced sociology and political landscape and culture is you look at how well they take care of not only the environment, but also their most vulnerable citizens. How are they looking out for their women? How are they looking out for their children, their elders, those who have various different type of disabilities? If you see a society and it may have access to technology that may look advanced, but they're neglecting the children, they're not looking out for their elders and making sure that they have equitable access to resources in that society, that's not advanced civilization. Because it shows you that on a psychological level, on a sociological level, political level, as well as cultural level, that they are not providing the support and the necessities in order for that society to perpetuate itself and to preserve itself. So civilization is always marked by how well you take care of the most vulnerable citizens within your society. Let me give you an example. I'm sitting out right here. This is Shokoff Park. And behind me is a senior living facility that provides short and long-term nursing and rehabilitation services for our elders. Now, this is a very beautiful park right here, right? Nice park. So let me show you this. Across the street from this park is our Arts and Cultural Center. It's one of the largest hubs as an art and cultural center within the state of New York. And let me show you this. Walk across the street. Now look at this. You see this ADA compliant ramp, which allows people, especially elders, to have access to this institution. Now, this is on one side of the street. Now, let's go back across the street where the park is and look at the ADA compliant ramp and curb cuts that allows them to cross the street. And let's look at the crosswalk as well. Look at this. There is no ramp or ADA compliant crosswalk for elders who may want to come from the park across the street to get to this institution. What do they have to do? If they are in a motorized wheelchair or they have mobility issues, they have to walk all the way down the street this way, or they have to walk all the way down the street that way to get to that corner to cross the street, to come all the way down just to get across the street. Now, when it comes to care for our elders or those who have disabilities or mobility issues, this wasn't a very conscientious or considerate design, knowing that our elders should have access to this institution from this park. That's just a very simple example of what it means to demonstrate civilization. Are we looking out for or considering things like this in terms of our elders in our community, those who have disabilities or mobility issues, and other different members of our communities? But that's something that some of us may not even consider. But yet we may say that we have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and are not savage in the pursuit of happiness. But something like that really demonstrates our knowledge or our level of awareness of our own environment. And are we really considering or thinking about all of our members of our community and making sure that they have access to the exact same resources and opportunities that we have? Again, civilization is marked by an advanced level of psychology, sociology, politics, and culture. And you can see that advancement by how well we look out for those who are the most vulnerable in our societies. So I will this was inspiring, empowering, and educational. Just gave those of you some insight into that degree and the importance of civilization.